isn't just about models and dashboards. It's about outcomes. In the early days of my career, I designed and deployed a sentiment analysis engine model that directly influenced brand monitoring, perception, decisions, and stuff like that. It resulted to a measurable, drop in complaint resolution and brand management.
Yeah.
I could see that play out in front of me. And trust me, as a young data analytics professional then, that was just starting out into building some of these machine learning and AI solutions then.
Yeah.
I was marveled at the impact such solution could have in such a big organization. Analytics isn't just about models and dashboards. It's about outcomes. It opened, the door for me to lead more strategic data initiatives.
Hello there. Welcome to another episode of the Data and AI Gist podcast. My name is Philip Ade-Akanbi, the founder and CEO of Decision Spark Technologies. And for previous episodes, we've had so many interesting conversations with leaders of data and AI in Nigeria. And it's been a very great conversation so far. We've had so many expository information shared. So if you are seeing this for the first time, please go watch the previous episodes so you can see the incredible insights that has been shared by these great leaders of data and AI. These are not people you typically would hear from, but we've been able to bring them together to share knowledge with us and let us grow together as one in Nigeria and by extension, Africa. We are back here again to have another interesting conversation with a very interesting guest, and this guest will double as our co-host for the episodes. And it's no other person than Maduabuchi Anamelechi, who is a senior data scientist and senior ML engineer, building solutions globally for a couple of time now, actually. And the reason why we are speaking with him is to get a sense of having to be in Nigeria and build for the global audience. Is it even possible? Is it something that we can make happen? Right. I will let you hear from him directly, but first introductions. Welcome, Maduabuchi. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you, Philip.
Awesome. So to just jump right in, who is Maduabuchi? Tell our audience.
Anyways, you've said it all, and little or nothing to add. So as you all know, I'm Maduabuchi Anamelechi, like rightly said. I'm a senior data scientist. I like to see myself as someone who is passionate about using, data-driven solutions to drive, business growth, at the kind, because that's really the end goal of every solution that we're building, anywhere in the world, is to drive business growth and impact. So, I started off my career in analytics, and over there I've grown into building a couple machine learning and AI powered systems, and strategies for a couple global finance, service organizations. I would like to see the work I do as, something that sits as an intersection of data science, business strategy, and by elongation, digital transformation. Yeah.
Incredible. And that you've also shared with us about your career, which is incredible. Something I was just going to add is, as the viewers would know, our Data and AI Gist podcast is always very informal. It's a gist. We just want to let people get information. So it's not the typical, very properly, or over-productized, right? Or we would say very formal, right? It's just a gist, very relaxing, very like you're speaking with your friend. And that's what we believe you ought to be, our friends that we are speaking with, to just share knowledge, right? Because again, knowledge can be very informal in its distribution. So let's talk about analytics professionals in Nigeria. Do you think there are skilled analytics professionals in Nigeria, Madu?
That question, when I hear people ask that question, I'm always baffled, because the absolute answer is yes. There are very much skilled analytics professionals in Nigeria.
Interesting.
And one good thing is that these guys are not just skillful, they are also resourceful. And I've encountered a whole lot of them. Like, I would tell you for a fact, for me as a person, one of my greatest desires and joyous moments are always getting into a team, probably a project team or something, and I'm seeing a Nigerian. Because, and trust me, I've always seen Nigerians everywhere. Every team I've been in, I've always seen Nigerians there. Yeah. So that's to tell you how resourceful we are. And, even though it looks like we have, limited infrastructure and data and all that, but trust me, what we often lack here is not talent. It's not talent.
It's not talent.
It's not. We might like maybe visibility and to some extent enabling environments, but no. It's not talent.
Incredible. And I think I can corroborate on that because when I'm in certain conversations, conferences across the world and people realize that I'm Nigerian, they always share how much, they worked with a Nigerian some time ago and the person was very skillful. And I'm talking analytics professional. The person was able to figure out certain bottlenecks that they couldn't even figure out. So I think that's really a very true statement. We are very skillful in Nigeria. Okay, in your experience, what sets a good analytics professional apart from an excellent one? Let's just dive right in.
For me, I would say the key difference there, I believe, lies in business understanding and storytelling. Trust me, no matter a good analytics professional can easily run models, generate reports, dashboards, and all that. But, the excellent ones, I would say, will go a step further. They want to ask the why. I've worked with a manager before that, tell us that, by the time you ask yourself 3 whys to start with, you might first of all discover that your initial thought of plan that what you want to do is not actually what you need to do. So these guys, these excellent ones, they go behind, beyond just good models and reports, dashboards and all that. They ask the why behind the data. They write business questions. And when it comes to storytelling, they also know how to communicate insights in a way that, it can help drive decisions. Trust me, no matter how good a model you built or a report or a dashboard, if you don't know storytelling as an analytics professional, it's going to be hard because who is going to tell the story? That's the next question. So I feel, like I said earlier, that, the key difference between a good analytics professional and an excellent analytics professional is just basically business understanding and storytelling.
Incredible. Thank you for sharing that. Because I was going to just ask the next question to say, what would really qualify a data analytics professional to be known as an expert?
That word expert to me is circumscribed in the sense that it depends on how you're looking at it, the angle you're looking at it from. And for me, I feel that what qualifies you as an analytics professional to, be known as an expert is a combination of stuff, like, a combination of your technical depth, your domain experience and impact. And, in a nutshell, I'll break it down a bit. Technical depth in the sense that an expert is expected to understand data pipelines end to end, modeling, and if we can take it a bit further, reports or visualization. So you are expected to have an expert understanding of that. Then, but more importantly, domain knowledge. Domain knowledge is very important because what we build, we're not building for ourselves. And if you're building for a domain you don't understand, you will struggle a bit.
And domain sort of means industry.
Yeah, the industry you're building for. Say, for example, you're building a solution for healthcare and you don't even understand healthcare. 2 ways. You either get someone that understands healthcare to build with you side by side, or you take your time to learn about that particular industry. And then, lastly, impacts, importantly, the track record. Impact is simply applying these other two, your technical depth and your domain knowledge, applying it, to solve real world problems. That's when you start saying you've had impact. So I think a combination of these 3 is what qualifies an analytics professional to say, I am an expert.
There you have it. I do hope this really helps somebody who is listening and really wants to be known as an expert. You've heard from the experts. So let me then ask about, for an entry-level data analytics professional, at what point should they start to dream of working for an international company?
That question, international company in quotes, well, I'll leave it to what it is, but for me, I feel it should be from the one. From the one, in the sense that is like you said, when should they start dreaming? You don't start dreaming at the point you're ready to execute. So dream is a picture you've had coming, and you're working towards and believing that you want to, step into that reality. Is a dream and you want to bring it to reality. So I believe data analytics professionals, as entry level, if you harbor that kind of a dream, because trust me, it's not everybody that does, but for the ones that do, start dreaming from day one. I mean, just look at it. The global talent market, it no longer waits. It doesn't have borders any longer. So if you have the skills, obviously you have access to internet, and most importantly, you have the discipline to keep learning. Because I see that that's the challenge some professionals have. They don't have that discipline to continue learning, but you have to have it. Then trust me, you can compete globally. And if you can compete globally, what stops you? From day one, start dreaming. And that will shape the kind of portfolio you would go ahead to build along the journey. So you're building a portfolio, contributing to open source real world projects, because you have that dream to work for international organizations someday.
So, but when we're not talking about working for international global organizations someday, are we not ignoring what is happening in Nigeria, right? If we are grooming local talents to go be resource for the world, will that not affect the local supply in Nigeria? What would be our case in Nigeria or in Africa?
Well, when you say affect local supply, it's a fair concern though, but I see it differently. I see it differently in the sense that I believe that our talent pool as Nigerians is underutilized. Trust me. And exporting talents, it kind of will create a feedback loop of knowledge, capital, and global relevance. Trust me. Earlier on, we talked about visibility, as data analytics professionals from Nigeria or in Nigeria. So exporting talents is going to help us solve that issue of visibility that we don't have on a global stage at this point in time, and trust me, it does not just mean that we will start lacking. I don't like to see it that way. I like to see that the goal should be abundance and not scarcity. And trust me, with strong pipelines from maybe boot camps, universities and corporates, organizations that are springing up in Nigeria and across Africa to train and export more data analytics professionals. Yeah. It's going to always be abundance and never scarcity.
Thank you very much for that. And that's a very great answer because, again, when you talk about abundance, you are very correct because I've spoken at a couple of universities and I've seen the raw talent that exists in these schools. And you start to realize that you have like at least 200,000 talent pool of people looking to get into this space. So are there even opportunities well enough for them to be able to grow their careers? So I think locally we are fine. Globally, would also be able to do well. Okay. Let's now talk about business and some bits of AI, because you did mention that you sit at the intersection of business transformation, digital transformation, and AI. How would you say a business should balance a short-term need, sort of like a short-term business need, with long-term potential of an AI-driven solution, if you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. For me, I feel to create that balance, it actually starts with alignment at the first instance, because you have to ensure that the AI initiatives you're going to chase as a business are grounded in measurable business value. I know it's not easy tying business value to a couple AI use cases, but trust me, that's the first step, being able to align them. So aligning them will make you realize where you need to start small, and then you start piloting models with clear metrics. So clear metrics is you've already done your alignment with, measurable business value. So those metrics are clear. One. So you start small. Those are your short. You've realized, okay, these are what I need to chase on a short term, business need. This is what my business needs now. So you start small and you pilot models, is kind of with your building architecture and teams, that can scale those solutions at the end of the day. So, and one thing businesses need to realize that it's not just AI for hype.
Yes.
It shouldn't be. It should be AI for, return on investment. Because for me, as though a data analytics professional, and also a business person, I see that is totally boils down to return on investment at the end of the day. The long-term wins and all that. But trust me, it will come from embedding data culture and iterative delivery. So you don't want to carry everything at once as a business when it comes to your AI needs. You align them, you identify your short-term goals, and you start from there. Then you build iteratively. And trust me, with a team that can scale and an architecture that can scale, you're definitely going to, at the end of the day, scale to meet your long-term AI goals. And
Incredible.
At the end of the day, it's going to be about, return of investment and not AI for hype.
Thank you very much, Maduabuchi, because that is something that we needed to ask, because we've had a couple of people ask us that question, especially because the interest in AI is growing now. Businesses want to be able to balance a couple of these things. Okay, but let's talk about something quite out of what we've been talking about so far. Let's talk about unique insights you've uncovered as an analytics professional. So what would you say you have uncovered working in the financial services industry, working across the globe as well? What are some of the unique insights you've uncovered so far that you can share with the audience?
So I would share about two of them.
Okay.
The first one is that distribution kind of trumps modeling.
Explain that.
In the sense that, you can build the best predictive models so far seen. Let me just say seen anywhere in the world, But if they are not integrated into decision systems or used by frontliners, frontline teams and all that, their value is totally lost. So distribution will always trump modeling. It's not really about building excellent models out there. It's the ability to, integrate them into decision systems, because that is the end goal for me of even building any model at the first place. And then secondly, another insight I've uncovered is the role of behavioral segmentation.
Okay.
Kind of. So, for example, as someone that has been in the financial service space for a while now, I would say that one thing you would see is that a small cluster of users are always the ones that are driving the majority of revenue and risk.
Usually.
So what does this mean? What it means is that if personalization is done right, it can move the needle significantly.
And I totally agree. Agree. I've trained quite a good number of professionals in Nigeria, top Nigeria as well. And trust me, many people don't know this bit you just mentioned, right? And this is just information that I think should be out there more. People need to personalize more for them to actually receive value from what they are doing. All right. Thank you very much, Maduabuchi. It's been a great gist with you. But you have to blow your trumpet. We do this with all our guests, even though you are going to be our co-host now. What is the most impressive thing that you've achieved in your career that has set you up for the things you do today?
That's in my early days, right? Well, in the early days of my career, one of the most interesting and impressive thing that I achieved then was a project I worked on, I designed and deployed a sentiment analysis engine model that directly influenced brand monitoring, perception, decisions, and stuff like that. So one thing about that, why I say is impressive, was impressive to me then at my early stage, was that it resulted to a measurable, drop in complaint resolution and brand management.
Yeah.
I could see that play out in front of me. And trust me, as a young data analytics professional then, that was just starting out into building some of these machine learning and AI solutions then, I was marveled at the impact such solution could have in such a big organization. So it's not, I see it as impressive, and one thing that particular project has done is that it opened, the door for me to lead more strategic data initiatives. From there, my confidence was up, kind of, you're proud of yourself, so you could do this. Maybe at the first thought, how is this? But went right into it. Raw talent. And this was the time of generative AI.
GPT.
Generative AI was not there. It was not there. And trust me, then,
GPT.
I respect engineers now, but I also respect engineers then. I knew what engineers go through then and now. I can compare both because I was in the two era, the two eras and all that. So it kind of built confidence and, opened doors to lead more strategic, data initiatives. It also taught me that analytics isn't just about models and dashboards. And that was where I got that mentality that is about outcomes, because I saw that outcome and this is what analytics is all about.
Yes.
And looking at that mindset alone, it has shaped every role that I've ever taken in my career since then. Incredible. And every project I've ever worked on, it has shaped.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of getting certain things right early on in your career. So if you are out there, you want to actually get a good skill that would be very helpful, or get a good experience that will be very helpful across your career journey, please go for the toughest projects early on in your career. The projects that would never, it doesn't look like it can happen. It doesn't make sense, because the project is talking about, I can relate to it because we used to work together and we actually worked on that project together, right? And, that was a very defining moment for him, as he has shared. Also for me, what I do today piggybacks a lot on that project as well. So when it comes to building really hard problems, I would really recommend you go for it. Do hard things. So thank you very much, Maduabuchi. It was a very great pleasure speaking with you. And another offshoot of the entire data and AI gist, that we typically have. I need to let the audience know that, the idea for this podcast actually came when we were working together back then, many years ago. And we said, with all this, premium, shege that data analytics professionals would have. If you are not Nigerian, you want to know what shege means, somebody will tell you. But, with the headaches that we face in this role, we need to actually be able to speak to other people and share, let people also know what is possible, especially for people that are coming up, to be able to know what they are getting into, because it's tough, but it's rewarding. And trust me, you can see is building things across the world. I am doing what I can do in my own space as well. And it's growing, right? And we are growing as a community. We are growing as a people as well. And our capabilities are also touching, global scenes. So thank you very much, our audience, for joining this really interesting ride with us. I can't wait to see you again, because we have so many more incredible leaders that we want to bring to speak with you from across the world. And I mean Nigerians that are actually building a couple of interesting things that are in America, that are in the UK, that are in Canada. We have them with us already, that they are willing to speak with you, share knowledge, and let's grow together. Do you have any final thoughts, Maduabuchi?
For that, I would tell the upcoming data analytics professionals out there, like you rightly said, at that early stage, don't be complacent, don't relax, and don't always go for the easy way out.
Yes.
At that early stage, trust me, how far you are able to push yourself at the early stage determines and has a whole lot of influence on how far you would now go in the later stage of your career. So I would encourage us out there, don't always look for the easiest way out. You know, when it looks like it's so hard, put yourself into it. Trust me, you will crack it.
Yes.
That's what Nigerians are known for, to always find a way out.
Yes.
I've worked with a couple Nigerian engineers, and I will tell you, this is the same thing amongst all of them. They would always figure it out. And trust me, you're not different.
Yes.
You will figure it out. And you have everything, the grit you need to figure it out in you.
Yes.
And trust me, you're going to need a lot of it when you start going out there.
Yeah.
So, like,
Philip
said, keep being curious, and you can't do away with your curiosity mindset as a data analytics professional. So always be curious.
Thank you very much. And like I was also sharing earlier, right, it's a very big privilege to be able to bring this to you together with Africa Tech Radio. They've been very incredible to help working with us to make this Data and AIG's podcast come to you. So please like this, share with people, share with your communities. I know there are so many data communities out there now. Please share with your communities, let people learn, right? The reason why we're doing this is to make people learn, right? This may not be entertainment as it were, but is to grow ourselves as a community, as a people as well. And let us start to continue rather to build solutions for the global world. Nothing stops us. We can build the next ChatGPT in Nigeria, can't we?
Trust me, a lot of people already, I can tell you for a fact, people are already working on it. Nigerians that I know are already working on it.
I can't wait.
Trust me.
I can't wait. All right. So thank you very much, everybody. And see you again. Stay curious, keep questioning, and bye for now.